to BizChicks TV. We're here to help you take the hassle out of your hustle so you can build a profitable business that's fun to run. Here are your hosts.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talks with the BizChicks. I'm Terralina from BizChicks, and I'm here with my friend and colleague, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva, and we are the BizChicks. We always like to get started on Mondays with a subject that we hope will help you build a profitable business that's fun to run. And
Mhm.
so today we're going to be talking about your home office. We just want to take a moment to just reevaluate what's going on there. Fran, where do we start?
Well, we're talking about transforming your home office. We got kids and spouses and different things going on at the home office all the time. And so I thought that these tips would help you be more productive,
Mhm.
um, and get, like Terry said, help you be more productive and help you build a profitable business that's fun to run. So let's go with the first tip:
Mhm.
design with purpose. Your home office should work for you.
Okay.
Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean you got the kids' pictures all over. I'm not talking about their photos. I'm talking about the pictures that normally would be on the refrigerator for the kids may not be in your office on the back. It's just your preference. Choose a layout that fits your daily tasks. So if you're writing and you write at a desk, then I would assume that your desk would be clear,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? Whether you're coaching, doing meetings, or creating, you should be using colors that inspire focus, and
Oh.
then also arrange your furniture to promote flow and movement. So
Now,
you,
okay. Let's talk about this. I mean, most of us have a kitchen.
mhm,
I don't want to start with flow and movement. Most of us have a kitchen, and we like being able to move things from the counter to the stove, from the refrigerator, sometimes to the sink, sometimes to the counter, etc. And so we have a sort of a pattern that we develop about how we organize our kitchens, how we
yes,
organize our homes. And have you noticed that? And this is something my grandmother used to tell me: no two women keep home alike. In other words, where you keep your silverware may not be where I keep my silverware. You may have your glasses on the left, I may have mine on the right. Your pots are up, mine are down. I mean, people organize things so that they work for them. And
right,
so we're not recommending that you turn your whole life upside down because we've got some suggestions, but we are saying make sure it works for you, that the flow
yes,
is easy, that it cuts down on how many times you have to walk across the room. And here's my prime example, because I can always tell when a man has designed a public bathroom. The paper towels are on the other side of the wall, and the sinks are over here. You got to cross the floor. You got to drip from the sink over to the paper towels. It's like, really?
Saint paper towel.
Why can't the paper towel dispenser be next to the sinks?
And this is what this is exactly what we're talking about when you're designing with purpose. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you're writing and you're using an iPad or maybe you're using a typewriter or whatever, your gear should be reflected in your desk space, the way
Mm-hmm.
that you work,
Exactly.
your tools, your pens or whatever, are they off to your left or are they off to your right? Where is your phone situated? Like, I'm on my laptop right now, but I have a desktop,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them goes on the, I have a desk that you can stand at. And that one is made for doing lives and stuff so that I'm not just sitting throughout the day. My other desk is used for writing.
Okay.
And so we need to make sure that the workspace works for you.
I like that. Make sure your space works,
Works for
that the
you.
flow makes sense for you.
Right. Now, if you are coaching, you want to have your notebooks because you should be taking notes on your
Mhm.
or what you're talking to your clients about, and uh, your meetings. Are you
Mhm.
taking notes in meetings? It shouldn't be distracted because if you're doing a Zoom meeting or something like that, you should be paying attention. Just saying.
Yes.
Uh, or if you're creating. Now, my daughter, she's creative. So she has her leather items and the stuff that she creates with when she's creating bags or she's
Mhm.
creating stuff. She has her paints in one area, her leather goods in another area, her materials, all of her stuff. It's her space, right? She's very good with green plants, and so she has her plant. Her space is set up for her to be creative.
Mhm. Mhm.
Her when she does her meetings online, she has her microphone and she has everything where she needs it to
Mhm.
be conducive for a great meeting.
Morning, morning,
Hey Brian,
morning,
how you
Mark.
doing?
How
And
you
Mark is
doing?
here
And hi,
too.
Brian.
So Mark has comment. He said, I
Mhm.
remember the disputes with my mom when she was helping unpack my kitchen. She was 5 foot on her best day. Mom, I can read stuff.
In other words, he can put it other places. He can utilize other areas, and they're still accessible. So we all have different ways, different flows that help us to achieve maximum performance, if you
Yes.
will.
And then let's see. Um, Ergonomics matter. This is the
Mhm.
second point. Ergonomics matter.
Mhm.
You're in this space for hours,
Oh my gosh.
right? So make
Mhm.
it easy on your body. Get a supportive chair uh, and adjust the screen to eye level.
And Brian says, my son just hit 6 foot. I can't stand it. so so everybody has different um reaches. My brother's arms are much longer than mine. I didn't realize that because we hadn't been in the same space in a long time. So I'm pushing stuff toward him, and he's like, I can reach that. I'm like, oh, because I can't reach it. I think,
Nobody can reach it.
I guess, like Mark's mom, I think, we short people have issues. Just pray for us. Okay.
Okay, so you want a supportive chair.
Mm-hmm.
You want and you want that to be at eye level. Your
Mm-hmm.
screen, your computer screen should be at eye level. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how if we do that. I remember when the phones first came out, people had tech neck because they were having their head down like this.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
strain
Mhm.
on
On
your
the,
vertebrae and
yeah.
everything. So you should have everything, should have your screen at eye
Mm-hmm.
level. And it helps too when you're on a call or video call, you're actually looking at people when you keep your screen at eye level. I think my screen needs to come up or either my chair needs to come down. Um, and then good lighting, make sure you have great lighting or good lighting. The best lighting is natural light. Okay, so we are if you have to work at night
Mm-hmm.
in the space, that you need to work with that as well, trying to find lights that can mimic natural light as much as possible.
Okay.
Let's see. Comfort, on this little note here says comfort is not a luxury. It is a productivity booster. So having that comfortable chair is not a luxury. Why you pay so much for that chair? Because I need to sit here in it.
Well, here's the other thing. Um, I worked for the government, and so many people um, came up with back issues and with carpal tunnel. And eventually they came up around and gave us ergonomic
Chair.
keypad.
Mm.
And they did an assessment on our chairs so that we wouldn't have on the job injuries or claims. Okay.
The latter, they didn't want to pay for all that.
Exactly. But it did make a big difference. And they even allowed us to have stand up desks if we required, so that our desktops would adjust so that, like you said, we could stand so we wouldn't be sitting so much.
Yep, that is, and
Mhm.
it is very good. Standing is great because the blood is flowing. There was an article came out that said sitting was the new smoking.
Yes.
One
Mhm.
other thing I wanted to mention in my notes that I did not have written down here was when you are sitting with your computer at proper eye level, you
Mhm.
want to make sure you reduce that blue glare,
Mm.
the blue light from the screen. So there are now, most computers can have it where it's neutral light now, put a little bit more yellow on it to reduce that, or get your gunners.
Mhm.
What are gunners, you say? They are glasses that reduce the glare. Now you can get prescription glasses that do this, that
Yes.
reduce the UV light coming, the blue light that comes off the computer. Or you can get a pair of gunners, but you want something that will cut uh, that blue light, because it does affect you. There, it affects your brain and it affects some other things and your productivity when you are staring at the screen. And we've got screens all over. We got screens in our hand. We got a screen on the iPad or other tablet. You got a screen on your computer. Then you're watching TV on a screen.
And
There
you
are
watch
screen-
the
oh
screen on
wait,
your
screen
watch?
on your watch. You're watching screens everywhere, so protect your eyes, which
Mhm.
actually protects your brain
Mhm.
because of that. You know how oh, okay, I'm dating myself, but when you would sit and watch TV, don't sit so close to the TV. It'll ruin your eyes.
Yeah.
Well, there's something to that. So
Mhm.
having the right uh,
Settings.
equipment as well.
Mhm.
Okay, so this one is interesting. Having a friendly diversity friendly setup. Your workspace should reflect professionalism and inclusivity, is what it says here, especially if you host virtual meetings, meaning that you don't want something that's going to be offensive to someone else in your background.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean you can't make it your own. You just, if there's something,
You might want to be apolitical. You might want to be uh, neutral as far as,
you want a welcoming
religion,
background.
ethnicity. Um,
Okay, okay, Terry, let's do this. If you were in a office building, what would your office look like? There's some stuff you would not put on the walls.
mhm.
There's some stuff that figurines, statues, or whatever, you would
When you're
not bring in.
interacting with the public.
So you are interacting with the public, even though you're at home. So that should reflect that. It's okay. Now, if you're working from home for someone else, that needs to be representative of the company that you are working from. Your
Mhm.
company should not suffer because something in the background. Your personal company or the company that employs you should
Mhm.
not be um,
Okay,
have a concern
yeah.
about what you have in your background.
Mhm.
We wouldn't have been talking about this about 10 years ago.
Mm-mm. And let's say you work for I don't know, uh, a nonprofit that wants to reduce school shootings. You don't want a bunch of gun racks,
In the
unsecured
back.
gun racks in the behind you. That
No,
is not a good look for what you claim you want to do or represent.
right. And
Always
then
saying is check your environment.
check your environment. And I mean, you may uh, do sporting events or whatever, and that's cool, but read the temperature in the room.
Mhm, mhm.
Just making sure that our space should be uh, ensure the environment respects the work styles and the different cultures, because we're dealing with people from all over the world.
Mhm, mhm.
Just like Terry said, check your space
Yep.
before you go live. Check your space. Um, okay, I'm going to say it because Dr. Tachi talked about it. Stop using the virtual backgrounds if you
Mhm.
do not have blue screen, green screen
I
capable lighting.
I don't know what the problem is. Let's see. Hi y'all.
Yeah, that
Uh,
is just not
How come
acceptable.
everybody I see has a grand piano?
And that wouldn't be the problem. It's the breaking up of the thing, your hand
Do they
disappears,
do they
and
all live in my house? Do we all live in the
just find a nice neutral wall. Mark has a really good comment here. He said, "You may love the show Hoarders, but your office need not reflect it."
There you go.
So, which brings us to a messy desk can equal a messy mind.
Mhm. That
So
is usually me.
decluttering means you'll gain clarity. Declutter equals clarity.
It also means you're somewhat organized.
Yeah.
You know
And
that
then keep only what you need in reach.
which is back to the kitchen, right? As you cooked, you washed and cleaned as you went along. So when you were finished, that place was not a wreck. You could sit down and actually enjoy meals with your family. Oh my gosh. We were taught
Right.
to clean as we cooked. Put that tool away. Okay, the mixer does not need to be out. We're done with it. Let's rinse it off, get it in the dishwasher, whatever we need to do, and move on to the next step while something else is going on.
And that when you were talking about the kitchen setup, I have a beverage place where everything, if I'm making coffee, everything
Mhm.
for coffee is right there.
On that
Even though
station.
there is a beverage station, the hot water, the honey, the all everything, all of that is right in one place.
Hmm.
We're not doing, burgers and fries over there. It has to have everything. If it's a beverage, we do it right here. So in the
Hmm.
drawers are the spoons and things that you need. Um, and everything is not on the counter either, but it's within reach, just like you said. So in your office, it should be within reach. Keep only what you need within reach. Picking
And
up.
keep, go ahead, and keep your things organized. I don't want to walk in your office as a customer and see the files of other people stacked on your desk.
Mhm.
I might not want Joe Smo to know that you're doing my taxes or my accounting or whatever. You know what I mean? Or you may leave the room and I may want to know what's in Joe Smo's file. Well, it's sitting on your desk. Come on, people. Give people some privacy. Respect your clients and be
And yourself
professional.
as well, because respecting your time. If you work on one client at a time, you do whatever you're doing for that client or
With
whatever
focus.
project you're working on, and you put it away to work on
Mhm.
the next project. because then your mind doesn't tend to jump from project to project to project, because you have all these projects and your eye is catching something that needs to be done.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was
Okay.
supposed to call Joe back. I
Yes,
want your undivided attention. I paid for my time.
right. So you're going to write down a reminder to call Joe back and keep talking. You know what I mean? When something triggers in your mind. Um, Clear your space at the end of each day to mentally
Mm-hmm.
reset and prepare for tomorrow with a fresh focus.
Yeah, because Mark says, call me when you have burgers and fries. Okay. Right now, it's all about the coffee station.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next point is add personal power touches. Inspire yourself daily with visuals that speak to your goals. Vision boards, scripture, affirmation, or family photos. Your space should remind you of your mission and brilliance.
Now, I know that a number of our customers and clients have vision boards and they have, you know, inspirational affirmations, scriptures, pictures of their grandchildren. But when they are on camera, those things are not behind them. They're usually facing them
Mhm.
so that they're in their line of vision when they're
Work.
carrying out their activities and tasks during the day. And that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So,
So you see your vision board and those things, but the people behind you don't actually get to see all that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Uh, Tech that works from you for you. So that's the next thing for scheduling tools. For scheduling tools to noise canceling headphones, let tech help you work smarter.
very
Automate what you can and use apps that support your business growth and time management. Now, we've talked about this. Um, a CRM, which is a client relationship management tool,
mm-hmm.
is very, very necessary if you want to keep up with what's happening with your clients. So I do real estate, and then I also do the consulting and things with BizChicks, um, and coaching things. So I needed something that's going to work. Now, we talked about HubSpot. HubSpot really does work. I have since come to find something else that might even work better where I can keep track of a project. I need
Mm.
it simple. I
Yeah.
don't need a
Okay.
lot of bells and whistles and
Thank you.
horns, and I
I,
just
I,
need
I think this is why, a lot of times I just give up on some of these apps. Every time I turn around, they fix something. So they say, now I don't know where anything is. It just gets more and more complicated. I agree, Fran. Can it just be simple?
it needs to be very simple. So
Keep it
uh,
basic.
the one that I am testing out right now, it I can put it's very simple. What's the project? This one is about project.
Hmm.
What's the project? Who's the contact that you're working for the project on, and what are you doing for them? You get to spell that out, and then and it's so when I'm working on their project, there's a timer that tells me, okay, start that time, work on that project, and when I get to the end of it, I can end it, and now I can see how much time I worked on this particular project,
Mm-hmm.
which keeps me on one project per client, not jumping around. Well, if it's out of sight, out of mind, I can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I don't like having to go from app to app to app. I need Now I got to have a reminder to tell me to go over there and do this. Well, this particular um, a CRM, or it's actually a
Management tool.
project management tool. It'll send me an email reminding me that we're supposed to be working on this project today, or a push notification, something to remind me, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be doing that. So it's kind of
Mhm.
like a personal assistant built in, and I'm trying that out. And I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. And then, did you call so and so?
Mhm.
I enjoy with HubSpot, I can call from within the while I'm typing notes, I can call from within that and make the call, take my notes and that. So between the two of them, I'm looking to see how I can make this work.
Mhm.
So what do you all use as a CRM for your business or your coaching or whatever it is that you're doing? What project management tool are you using? Or we
Mhm.
really want to know because again, I want it simple, effective, and I just want to be able to follow up on somebody. And sometimes the best tool is just a spreadsheet.
Mhm.
You know, you're going to go to the spreadsheet. Oh, this, but I wanted to know when's the last time I talked to somebody? What did we talk about? So that I don't drop the ball on any person. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, we used to call that a chronology. I just keep a chronology on each individual,
Mhm.
pull it up. Oh, last time we talked to, okay, got it. You know?
And it also helps with time management because you now know, oh, wait a minute. Okay, building this website is going to take, it took me longer than I anticipated.
That's true if it's tracking your time,
Right. Okay,
and
now
which
I
is
need to
good for
be
billing too.
right. And this new thing that I'm using, it has invoice and everything all built in.
Mhm.
So I don't have to go out to another app to create an invoice. Everything is created within there.
That's a good
So
thing. I like it.
I do too. So far I'm liking it and I'm liking the cost because it's a one-time fee for life. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
okay. So, but they get you, you can test it out for 60 days and see how it
Mhm.
works. So we'll do a follow-up if you'd like to know what's working. All right. Number 7, boundaries boost productivity. Just because you work from home doesn't mean you're always available.
All righty then.
We learned this from Coach Karen because I remember her saying she tells her family her office hours, her
Mhm.
work hours. She's had sat her family down and said, I work from this time to this time. And don't come knocking on the door talking about can you go, can we do um create a start and stop time for your day and let your family know your do not disturb hours and give yourself breaks during the day as well.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm sure somebody has come up with this a nice do not disturb sign or business in session, something to put on your door. And I would suggest closing your door if you're not the only one at the house.
Absolutely.
Hang something on the door that says I'm working or office hours, or put office hours on your interior door
There you go.
for everybody else to see.
I love it.
Okay.
Wow.
How do
This
you
is
all keep boundaries? Anybody who's live
Mhm.
or on the replay, how do you keep your boundaries? Or, and this works too if you're in a corporate setting, because the water cooler people like to come and talk about what was on TV and blah blah blah. Okay.
One of the ways that I was able to be much more productive was I came in an hour before everyone. And by the time they had finished getting coffee or whatever they were doing, I was through most of the things that I needed to do on my to-do list and was working on the list for the next day. And I had the day to contact people and you know what I mean? But and then the other thing is when it got where it was so active, I would take my things and go to the conference room. I would book an hour in the conference room, or I would use the conference room during lunch because people will drop by and sit down. It's like that. And they see you working on some. Well, I just need to ask you. No, I am in the middle of something. Well, I know, but I
And-
know, but
right. Brian has a comment here. He says, Michael Hyatt says, schedule everything, including downtime,
Mhm.
and make sure your calendar reflects it to show that you're busy. They just don't need to know what you're busy doing.
I love it.
I
Well
uh, I
stated.
have I put white space. I call it white space. I put white space on my calendar
Mhm.
because, okay, I have appointments, and okay, so my morning is non-negotiable. That's
Mhm.
my morning. I don't start talking to people until about 8 o'clock in the morning, and that's business people in the
Mhm.
morning. Clients come in at 10 o'clock in the morning. I start interacting with clients because I need to get stuff done.
Mhm.
And so I have, like Brian said, I have things blocked off on my calendar, but I put white space in there, which means I can either take that for myself
Mhm.
or I can allow, I can use that for impromptu appointment if I so choose. And Mark has a comment. He said, I would love for there to be a way to predict when my upstairs neighbor will not be marching around on wood floors above when I'm recording a podcast.
Ah, bless your heart.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Mark, I don't know, man. So these are some things that can help you be more productive in your uh in your home office. I don't know, sometimes we just need to revisit some things, like maybe the things gotten out of order, your files are
Mhm.
somewhere else, because unless you have a personal assistant coming in and filing your stuff for you, things have it it's
It can
not
get
like working
cluttered.
in corporate office when you have somebody, the guy pushing the file cart coming and you put all the files in there and he takes them to the file room. You are
Mhm.
the file clerk, you are the executive, you are
Your
doing it all.
maintenance.
Maintenance, you got to take your trash out.
Mhm.
One thing I would like to add to this list: don't eat in your office.
Mhm.
Take your break. Go to the
Okay.
lunchroom.
Mhm. Go to a different space. Uh-huh.
Right. Go maybe sit outside on the patio outside if you are able to do that, or go to your kitchen where there's break room where you're sitting down. And you can ask your tax person about the fact that you are using your home office as tax, because you do get a tax break from using your home office, and then also using the kitchen area as break room. All of that goes into tax reduction. I am not a tax professional, so you need to call yours and ask them about that if you haven't done that already.
Mhm.
Any final comments, Terry? Any comments from the audience?
I just want to say, do what works for you.
Hmm.
As we used to say, as we used to say in the first church, these have been your announcements for the week. Govern yourself as the announcements affect you personally.
We want to say thank you for tuning in today with our little coffee conversation for today. If there's something you'd like to know about, let us know. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, BizChicks TV or BizChicks. We also have another YouTube channel where we do tips every day that are business tips, and it's called Biz Tip Daily. I think I'm going to change it to BizChicks Tips, Terry. So
Mhm. I like it.
um, you can look for that in a little bit because I'm getting ready to go change the name to BizChicks Tips. Um, but it has some tips that come in all the
Mhm.
time, little nuggets, and that's where we got this one from today, little nuggets to help you take the hassle out of your hustle. So today, to join BizChicks, you can text Biz to 33777, or you can go to bizchicks.net. Thank you. And be sure to follow Mark Ward or Brian Taylor out on Facebook, on YouTube. Mark has a great podcast because he mentioned it earlier about
the 4-minute mark.
The 4-minute mark. Yes. Short little 4-minute tips and things that can help you take the hassle out of your hustle. So with that, we want to say thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Happy Juneteenth Day. Today is a federal holiday. And so enjoy your holiday.
Enjoy your holiday, everyone.
And talk to you later.
Have a great day. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in today. We trust you've learned something to help you build a more profitable business and take the hassle out of your hustle. See you next time.